So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the best free-to-play teams that you could be playing right now in Neverness to Everness. These teams are going to feature a more limited amount of S-rank characters than in my previous video, which was more focused on premium teams. I guess that's kind of just outside of the little Aurelia team suggestion I had, but we're going to look at 3 or 4 different teams here that I think you might want to try out if you're more free-to-play. So this is the initial Cheese team that I would suggest. We unlock Cheese and her weapon as we level up our City Tycoon, and we get multiple ascensions of her as we continue to level that up. So she is a solid free-to-play main damage dealer. We all know this, but this is how I would suggest playing her as a free-to-play player, and we're going to go into some upgrades you can make with this as more of a starting build. So with this build, we've got Cheese as the main DPS, we've got Skia and Mint as sub DPSs, and Haniel as an attack boosting support. Now the great thing about this team is that whilst you want to be dealing most of your damage with Cheese, Skia and Mint will offer some additional damage whilst building up their Esper cycles in order to trigger charge. When we trigger Remora and Blossom, we're able to get charge going. Charge is super good because it allows us to build up tons of additional ultimate energy, which is going to allow Cheese to get off her ultimate, which is where most of her big damage comes from. We also have the ability to trigger Stain with Haniel. It's a small little bonus that we get, but it increases the enemy's Psych and Lakshana damage that they take by 20% for 12 seconds after you trigger the cycle. So when you're using Skia and you're building up his cycle, you're able to build this up whilst using that Stain bonus if you come off of a fully charged Haniel. And that's just a little bit of extra damage. But you want to make sure that you're triggering Skia and Mint with their full cycle gauges with Cheese so that you're able to get charge going, and then you're able to charge up her ultimate a ton. Some substitutions that we can make to this team. We could take a look at Skia here. We can sub him out for Haether first and foremost. Yeah, she's our only other Lakshana character until we get Chaos a week from now. And then we'll have Chaos, the Lakshana character. If you're looking to sub out Mint, we're going to want to look for another Anima user. My suggestion would be G1. She provides some crowd control, she provides some burst damage. Overall, she's a pretty good sub DPS, so she provides a good amount of value if you have G1. Nonali is also playable, but she is more of an on-field damage dealer who is selfish and wants to be on field to deal lots of damage, but you could try and take advantage of her follow-up attacks. She does fill that Anima element that we need. And then for our last slot, I love using Haniel. She's a great buffer. Some substitutions that would work for her. Another free-to-play friendly option would be Adler. He provides some survivability while dealing a little bit of damage himself. If you have Sakiri, she is obviously an S tier support. She provides grouping, she provides damage boosts. She's really good. And that wraps it up for this team. You want Cheese on the field, you want to be dealing damage with Cheese, getting her ultimate off. This is a great free-to-play friendly team. Our next team keeps a lot of the bones of the previous team, but it is the Skia team. I haven't touched this team because I don't like Skia very much, but Skia does have the potential to be a main damage dealer. In this team comp, Skia would be the main DPS. We would have Mint as a sub DPS. We swapped out Cheese for Esper 0 so that we could get more cycle gauges off, and we kept Haniel as the buffing supporting character. If you're free to play and you've pulled on the banner at all, you most definitely have all of these characters. You might not have the awesome Esper 0 skin like I do, but that's only a cosmetic. It only buffs your personal enjoyment of the game, not your actual gameplay, so it is still free to play. Now, having the core of Skia, Mint, and Esper 0, we repeat the same thing here. We have access to Charge, which is going to provide our main DPS on field Skia the opportunity to use his ultimate more and more. We've got a little bit of burst DPS from Mint as we try and get her cycles off. We've got all of the cycles in the world with Esper 0, and we've got some good buffs from Haniel. Of course, the same thing applies here as last time. I believe Mint can be swapped out for G1. This team is built around Skia, and it is supposed to be free-to-play friendly, so we're not going to sub him out. But looking at this team, we have a potential sub here. If we want to use Chaos in the place of Skia in the future, that could be a potential Chaos team. But we'll get into that in another video. And then Haniel, again, she is useful here. I would keep her in, possibly even over Sakiri or somebody else, because if we get her charged up and we're ready to go ham with Skia or Chaos in the future, we get charge going on Skia, we're going to be able to use a ton of damage, charge up our ultimate a ton with the Blossom and charge going and Remora and all that. But if we have a Stain lined up properly, we can also get Stain off, which is going to boost Skia's damage further by boosting our Lakshana damage by 20% for 12 seconds. So I like to keep, or I'm not playing this team, but I like to keep Haniel in this team if I were to play this team, or if I were to be running Chaos. There's a lot of potential here. I could see Chaos with G1, Haniel, and Esper Zero being a pretty solid team. But we're going to pretend like we're playing Skia because, well, my wife loves the Wolf Boy, so maybe some other people out there enjoy playing the Wolf Boy. Last but not least, for our free-to-play teams. This team is built around Esper Zero and Mint being your main damage dealers, with Haniel and Adler providing support. Haniel, of course, is providing buffs. Adler's providing some survivability. Esper Zero and Mint are our key focuses here for damage dealing. With this comp, we're able to focus on getting a lot of Blossom procs off with Esper Zero's ability and with Mint. However, with the inclusion of Adler here, we are able to get hexed off, and using the hexed effect when we have Mint dealing the on-field damage is going to deal an additional instance of follow-up attack damage equal to 20% of anima or incantation damage that is taken within 12 seconds after triggering the cycle. So we're going to want to make sure that we're dealing the damage per second with our girl Mint after swapping in from Adler and getting that hexed off. There are some substitutions that we can make here. I like keeping Haniel here. Mint, assuming we don't have Nonali, we're going to use Mint as one of our DPSs. And Adler, if we have Sakiri, we could swap Adler for Sakiri. I would make that swap. Sakiri provides some CC and some more support in the form of her buffs. So this team really revolves around dealing a lot of burst damage with Esper Zero and with Mint, using all of our support capability from our supports, and kind of going through the rotations with all of the Esper cycles. If you've got Zero on your team, you're getting off a ton of Esper cycles. That's just how it works. But yeah, shout out to everybody in my last video for calling me out for leaving Cheese out. I don't know why I did, but I did want to put together a free-to-play team building guide video for anybody who's looking for it. So I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below what you've been doing and what has been working for you if you are more of a free-to-play player. As somebody who's not afraid to spend a little bit of money, I have all the characters, so yeah, I'm not free-to-play. But I am friendly. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and if you would like to see more Neverness to Everness and other gacha game content, a subscription would be awesome. I hope to see you guys in a future video. Peace. Quick shout out to our members and everybody who supports me. Thank you so much for the support, and I really appreciate it. I hope to have some awesome stuff for members in the future, so look forward to that.